Increase paddy yield by 2024. Dietitians called for in Sarawak. And emulating the Netherlands smart farming. Bringing you the Eye on the News tonight, you're now with me, Shosha Mato, and this is TVS Nightline. The lack of technology, management of soil and crops, as well as agricultural series were the matters identified among the weaknesses in Sarawak's agriculture. Therefore, in addressing the matter, Sarawak government has allocated 3 million ringgit to University Putra Malaysia UPM for the undertaking of a research meant to increase the yield of paddy in Sarawak by threefold by 2024. If the project is successful, Premier Sarawak Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng said the same template shall be used to undertake the cultivation of other crops.
We have quality rice. Everybody wants to buy beras Barrio, even though it doesn't come from Barrio. And that is the brand that we have. And as long as you can produce that type of rice with certain quality, then I think the market is yours. Malaysia now is depending on Thailand to produce us the rice. If something happened in Thailand, you got no rice. And therefore, it is important that Sarawak has to look towards that technology.
He spoke during the launching ceremony of the Sarawak Dutch Food Security Workshop on Tuesday, January 17. The workshop serves as a platform for participants, which mainly consist of farmers, to learn and implement the usage of green technology from the Netherlands in their plantation.
If we were able to cover these three challenges that we face, I have a feeling and I believe that we can transform the whole sector and we can contribute to the food security that is needed in this region. Today is part of exposure, part of learning curve for us to learn from the Netherlands, being the second world producer of food beside United States. Thank you very much, Investor, for giving us the technology and sharing technology.
Apart from that, Abang Johari said Sarawak has a number of talents that can be trained through high-quality food produce to accommodate the 3 billion population within the Asian region. Also present during the ceremony were Minister of Food Industry, Commodity and Regional Development Sarawak, Datuk Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Uttam, and Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, His Excellency Jacques Werner.
Apart from producing high-quality food produce, Sarawak wants to eradicate obesity-related issues that have become a global dilemma. According to the Premier Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng, the agriculture sector needs to work hand-in-hand with dietitians to overcome such problem.
Universiti memberi khusus dalam intake new graduates mempelajari studying in this discipline. Okay. Teknologi makanan. Universiti mana? Pertanian, Swinburne, saya minta Swinburne juga, dan Unimas. Bahkan UiTM pun ada mempunyai off studinya di Kampung Sebuyung pasal makan.
He said so during a press conference after officiating the Sarawak Dutch Food Security Workshop on Tuesday, January 17. He added, if Sarawak is able to master this field, it can contribute to other neighboring countries in an effort in leading the world in healthier lifestyle in the region. One aspect in realizing this vision is to establish an ecosystem that is conducive for agricultural science, biology and food quality.
Semalam saya bersama dengan Menteri Kesihatan Malaysia dan saya telah kongsi mengenai bagaimana kita mesti mempunyai makanan yang mempunyai the right combination of nyampun dietary component makan kita. Dan saya ingat bahawa Dr. Rundi being having medical background, he knows what the thing that kita need. So make sure that we have healthy lifestyle. Jangan kita terlalu gemuk, jangan juga terlalu kurus. Tapi dia mestilah entah gaduh.
Similarly, Sarawak is keen on studying smart farming and food security from the world's second largest food exporter, the Netherlands, in its effort to transform its agriculture sector and to optimize its land resources well. And with its ample land and small population, it can become the food exporter in the region.
For Sarawak, well, we have ample land, small population, but we can be the exporter of food in this region, bearing in mind that the world population, 50% is within 6 hours flight. And we can reach out to this population, to this market.
He noted that despite its smaller land size and bigger population, the Netherlands managed to become one of the world's biggest food exporters. Abang Johari remarked that the agriculture sector in the Netherlands utilizes its land resources fully by practicing crop rotation. Thus, he urged the local farming community to pick up on smart farming techniques.
The mainstream media still plays a pivotal role in disseminating accurate news despite the emergence of social media. Deputy Premier Dr. Sim Kui Hian said this is because the mainstream media upholds professionalism and has credibility, while freedom of speech through social media tends to have its downside.
The new media like TikTok and all those things has overtaken the traditional methods like reading the news and so on. Yeah, but the problem with all these social medias and all this freedom of speech is freedom of speech. There must be a limit to the freedom, meaning that it should not abuse it. You know, it should not abuse it.
He said this at the Media Appreciation Night 2023, organised by the Federation of Kuching, Samarahan and Serian Division's Chinese Association at its premises in City Square recently. He also urged the public to check their facts before sharing any form of news and information in an effort to curb the spread of fake news.
The revised budget 2023, which will be presented on February 24, will focus on the service sector. Prime Minister Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim said among the sectors that will be focused on are green technology, digital economy and the small and medium enterprises SMEs. The Finance Minister also noted that the government policy will be focusing on improving the capacity of the SME sector, covering a broad base.
SME itu broad base ya, tapi kalau keutamaannya kita dah sebut ya, digital, teknologi, pertanian yang agro base juga diberikan, dan juga yang dikaitkan dengan renewable energy. Tapi ada bidang-bidang yang high end yang dia lakukan, termasuk industri yang masih penting bagi kita.
Anwar said a realistic approach is being executed in Budget 2023, taking into account the economic situation as well as political views. He added the budget that was tabled last October by the previous administration would remain. However, there would be some minor changes to be made.
Semua aspek, semua tidak terikat dengan belanjawan yang lalu, walaupun kita ambil kira cadangan yang dibuat dulu, tapi ini belanjawan baru sama sekali. Trustnya, dasarnya, pengubahsuaiannya, walaupun angka-angka pendapatan dan sebagainya itu mungkin tak boleh ubah banyak.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister said the national debt currently stood at 1.5 trillion ringgit and needs to be dealt with immediately. The Finance Ministry on December 29 confirmed that the government will present the revised Budget 2023 in Parliament on February 24, 2023. Previously, on December 20th sitting, Parliament had approved a special allocation of service expenditure amounting to 107.72 billion ringgit, which included salary payments to civil servants, utilities, scholarships, welfare assistance, as well as education and health services. Budget 2023 was presented on October 7, 2022 by the previous government's Finance Minister, Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul Abdul Aziz, amounting to 372.3 billion ringgit.
Malaysia could save up to 10 billion ringgit from the leakages that occurred in the government procurement system, said Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. Anwar said that leakages could be curbed if corruption is eradicated at all levels. This includes changing the old way of doing things, namely without political interference or the interests of big businessmen in government's procurement.
Sebab tu saya katakan kadang-kadang rasuah dalam penyalahgunaan kuasa ini dia sistemik. Yang atas ratus juta, yang bawah puluh ribu. Jadi ini bagaimana nak kita tangani suatu cabaran yang besar. Termasuklah kaedah. Saya bincang dengan Menteri Pertahanan, kaedah dan Ketua Angkatan Bersenjata pun ada untuk menentukan kaedah pembelian perolehan senjata yang lebih profesional.
He said despite being the finance minister for almost 2 months, he has identified that there was a leakage of 3 to 4 billion ringgit that could be saved. Meanwhile, Anwar informed the national debt, including liabilities, has reached 1.5 trillion ringgit and needs to be addressed immediately. He revealed that the amount is more than 80% of the gross domestic product GDP.
Kedudukan ekonomi itu belum reda. Ekonomi masih dianggap malang. Ia juga terkait dengan perkembangan antarabangsa, perkembangan kesedaran atau global, baik soal perang Ukraine-Rusia ataupun pasca COVID yang belum dapat menzahirkan kekuatan ekonomi.
He said this at the 2023 Budget Dialogue Council team Membangun Malaysia Madani on Tuesday, January 17.
Coming up right after the break, Chinese New Year Bazaar in Miri bustling with visitors, and 1 dead, 7 missing in Thailand oil tanker blast. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned.
大家好，我是芊芊。
Hello， 大家好，我是 Ivan。
大家好，我是 Adri。
大家好，我是刘慧良。
大家好，我是张小莹。
记得收看
TVS Live 新春特别节目，
及关注我。
是在 TVS 122频道。
Welcome back to the Nightline. In providing higher education counseling and helping students to choose the right programs to further their tertiary education, Inti International University Colleges has expanded its counseling services in Sarawak to cater for school leavers and young adults. Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development Dr. Roland Sagawi-In said the establishment of the centre will help the local students in determining their educational pathways to the next level.
Roland pointed out that the centre, which is located in Kuching, acts as a regional hub for parents and students from Sarawak to obtain comprehensive details on registration for studies at INTI's campuses across Malaysia, application for accommodation, and available scholarships or financial aid.
With this actual premises, students and parents can come here to get more specific information about the programs that are available in INTI. So he plays a very important role to give or to disseminate information as what programs are available at INTI University Colleges. It is more convenient for the local people to get information, the right information directly.
Adding further, he said INTI International University and Colleges is renowned for providing educational excellence as it offers globally recognized programs, cost-effective routes to attain twinning degrees, and overseas degree transfer programs with reputable university. He said the innovation brought into the INTI education system is in line with the ministry's vision, which is to have the competitive talent to drive the state's aspiration in developing skilled and capable workforce that is able to compete effectively in the challenging global economy and contribute to the state's development goals.
Of course, we have heard that we also want to go and develop our biodiversity, of which one of it is related to using carbon dioxide to culture this algae, and we hope to be able to produce in the future aviation fuel. Now I purposely say all this because those are the ideas of our Premier. And what does it mean to us? What it means is we will need students later on. Those who graduate, there should be those who are able to fill up the post in these fields. Otherwise, we have to look for experts from outside. Otherwise, we have to look for people to develop that sector.
He said this in his officiating speech at the opening ceremony of the INTI Education Counseling Center in Kuching earlier today. Roland also encourages schools and teachers to utilize the opportunity to create and establish a good relationship with university for the sake of the students' future.
After being postponed for 2 years, 2023 is the best opportunity for locals to revive their economic activities. This year, Chinese New Year bazaars are also making its comeback in Miri, with Gongxi Bazaar 2023 returning with visitors and hawkers alike.
Perasaan akak merasa gembira semua peniaga dapat berniaga kembali pada tahun 2022 ini. 2023 sebab 2 tahun sudah ditangguhkan. Sangat berpuas hatilah untuk tahun 2023 dapat untuk 2023 ini dapat berniaga kembali.
Kasirun also expressed her appreciation to be able to physically trade at the bazaar, to which she had to opt for online platform as an alternative for her business survival.
Perasaan saya sangat gembira lah sebab apa? Selama pandemik COVID-19 hampir dekat 2 tahun lebih lah, dekat 3 tahun kan, kita tak dapat buka dekat sini, jadi income kita sebagai peniaga agak kurang lah. Kita terpaksa buat online untuk mempromosikan kita punya produk ya. Yes, memang agak membebankan sikit lah. Jadi selama adanya Pesta Tahun Baru Cina ni, kita peniaga-peniaga semua bersyukurlah dapat orang memulakan balik perniagaan kita seperti biasa.
Saya rasa sangat happy sebab dapat tengok ramai orang. Lepas tu orang pun berbilang-bilang kaum, ada Cina, ada Indan, ada Melayu. Gerai-gerai dekat sini pun bermacam-macam juga. Ada orang jual makanan yang kita dapat makan sebelah sana, yang sini dapat kita makan. Macam itulah, harga pun berpatutan juga. Kami berasa gembira dengan suasana yang dekat sini, dengan penuh dengan ramai-ramai orang. Dengan ramai pengunjung juga lah, dari Mili, dari Kuching, dari Brunei, ramai juga lah.
Miri Chinese New Year Bazaar starts at 4 p.m. until 11 p.m. from January 14 until January 21 at Miri Old City Center. There are as many as 300 stalls open and total number of 50,000 visitors are expected to visit the bazaar.
Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim received a courtesy call from Singapore's Foreign Minister Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan this afternoon. Anwar said that in a meeting, he and Balakrishnan exchanged views on various bilateral and regional issues of mutual interest.
Through a post on his official Facebook page today, Anwar said he also expressed his desire to focus on the economy and make progress together in solving outstanding bilateral issues in a comprehensive manner. Balakrishnan is in Malaysia on a 4-day official visit from Sunday to Wednesday, January 18th. He also held a meeting today with his counterpart, Dato Seri Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir, where both foreign ministers reaffirmed the excellent long-standing close ties between Malaysia and Singapore. Yesterday, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah granted an audience to Balakrishnan at Istana Negara.
Malaysia and Indonesia need to go beyond the focus on standardization of halal certificates and build the halal economy ecosystem to become bigger players in the global halal industry. Indonesian ambassador to Malaysia, Hermono, said, as Indonesia is the largest Muslim-populated country and Malaysia is a Muslim-majority country, both countries should be taking the lead and be the main player in the global halal industry instead of non-Muslim majority countries such as Thailand, Brazil and Australia.
Hermono expressed hope that the two countries can identify areas of cooperation so that both can benefit from the halal industry. He said this in his special remarks at the inaugural Malaysia-Indonesia Halal Forum and Industry Engagement 2023 in Kuala Lumpur today. Hermono further hoped that the forum would reach some concrete cooperation beyond the standardization of halal certificates and discuss how to develop a global halal economy ecosystem. He added that the Memorandum of Understanding MOU recently signed by Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim in Indonesia on food security would benefit and contribute to the Islamic economy and industry. Meanwhile, Ministry of International Trade and Industry Deputy Secretary General Industry Dato Sri Norasman Ayub in his remarks said the halal economy is poised to become more integrated with global trade and supply chains.
Thank you for staying with me. And now on to world affairs. One person perished and 7 went missing after a fire broke out on an oil tanker in Thailand's Samut Songkhram province. According to officials, an oil tanker named Smooth Sea-22 was stationed southwest of the capital Bangkok and blew up, and a loud blast was heard which shook nearby neighborhoods. Video footage showed thick black plumes of smoke coming from the oil tanker. The origins of the blast are yet to be confirmed. Most of the victims are welders from Myanmar, as the ship was undergoing repairs at the time of the blast, according to the Disaster Prevention and Mitigation Provincial Office of Samut Songkhram Province. Vietnamese President Nguyen Xuan Phuc has stepped down and vacated his position within the Politburo of the ruling Vietnamese Communist Party. Phuc's ouster as president and removal is a highly unusual development that comes amidst a broader corruption crackdown.
Coronavirus-related scandals have embroiled numerous high-profile politicians in the country in recent weeks. In late December, then-standing Deputy Prime Minister Pham Binh Minh was also ousted from the Politburo, the most powerful decision-making body of the Vietnamese Communist Party. Minh and then-Deputy Prime Minister Vu Duc Dam, who spearheaded Vietnam's COVID-19 task force, was also removed from the Central Party Committee before resigning as Deputy Prime Ministers. Minh was deemed responsible for a corruption scandal related to repatriation flights for Vietnamese stranded overseas during the coronavirus pandemic, in which officials received bribes in return for seats on flights to Vietnam. Dam was held to account over a COVID-19 testing kit scandal linked to a Viet A company, which led to 2 ministers being arrested. Having served as Vietnam's president since April 2021 and formerly as prime minister since 2016, Phuc, who is 69, accepted responsibility for the actions of Minh and Dam, according to the statement.
Social Democrat SPD Interior Minister of the state of Lower Saxony, Boris Pistorius, is to serve as Germany's next defense minister, sources on Tuesday, January 17, said, at a time when Berlin is under pressure to boost military support for Ukraine.
Christine Lambrecht resigned as defense minister on Monday as allies increase calls to send Ukraine heavy tanks at the start of what is likely to be a pivotal week for Western plans to further arm Kiev. The appointment, if confirmed, could result in a wider reshuffling of the German cabinet, as Chancellor Olaf Scholz has promised to staff his cabinet with equal numbers of men and women. Pistorius has been interior minister in Lower Saxony since 2013 and has long been seen as a candidate to assume a national position. He ran for the leadership of the Social Democrat Party in 2019.
That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Shol Chamato. Thank you for watching.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Ivan。
大家好，我是 Adri。
大家好，我是刘慧良。
大家好，我是张小莹。
记得收看
TVS Live 新春特别节目，
及关注我，
只在 TVS 122频道。